Okay, folks, time to start the meeting. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Janice, could you do the prayers, please?
Beloved Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai Baba, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday session. Before we carry on, I'd like to invite our Lord, one and only Lord, Meher Baba, to please come and join us for this meeting. Not only just join us, but to stay with us and guide us throughout this meeting. Let each word spoken, Baba, let each word spoken be as per your wish. Thank you. Okay, today we have with us a long time Baba lover. Her name is Nivedita Nagpal. She is presently based at Ooty. She is a content writer by profession, a very talented lady as far as writing is concerned. She is very good at conducting researches on various Baba subjects. So much so that she's written 2 books. उन्होंने 2 किताबें लिखी है. And a very dedicated lady towards our Baba center. Her husband, Alok, वो बेचारा मेरे जैसा hardworking, but this lady is very, very talented when it comes to writing. And today, she is going to mainly talk to us about Kaikhushru Pleader, who was originally from Ooty, where the family had seen very good times, and then वो सब खत्म हो गए and वो बाबा के पास कैसे आए वगैरह वगैरह. She's all going to narrate all that in a little while. Before I hand over to her, I would like to just make a small announcement. Coming Sunday, we have Mahadev Kamble, who was picked up by Baba as a young boy, little boy, 4 of them actually. This gentleman stayed on, and he was fortunate enough to carry Baba when he was in his lift chair. There used to be 4 people carrying Baba because of his injury in the hip joint. And I've seen his video. The simplicity and humility of this man is beyond comparison. No wonder he stayed so long with Meher Baba. Because I would not like to reveal the whole, it would take away the fun. But all I can say is, please try and join in to view this program, view him. as much as you can, because it's a unique experience of a person who is so called illiterate, gaunty, gawar, whatever you call it, but very rich. I feel is richer than most of us in Baba's love. In fact, I feel Baba loved him more than he loved Meher Baba. So it'll be a very, very interesting talk. Then it'll be accompanied by Mr. Madhukar Dadar. He is famous for his singing and tabla playing. So it all in all, it's going to be a very entertaining evening. Now, I would like to, I'm being told that the Sunday meeting will be live at the center. It will not be telecast. So those of you who wish to listen to this, you're all requested to make it a point to come to the center somehow or the other. Thank you and Jai Baba. Nivedita, are you all set, madam?
Yes, I'm set.
Okay, go ahead, madam. All yours.
Okay. Thank you and Jai Baba.
Jai.
Am I audible?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you for the lovely introduction that you gave me. I appreciate that. And since you had asked me to begin with a little bit of an
How you
introduction,
came to Baba, yes.
how I came to Baba, I'll give that a little bit. Then I will talk of Pleader. And if there is time, I would like to even, as I had mentioned earlier, I wanted to talk about the importance of Baba Prasad.
Yes.
If you remember, we had spoken
Yes,
about
yes,
that.
yes, yes. Go ahead.
Huh. So about me, I would like to say that it was around 29 years ago. Before this, I want to know, should I speak in Hindi or in English? What would be the...
Khichdi is what we prefer. Yani ki a little bit of Hindi, most of it in English. Okay.
Okay, okay.
The gist of whatever you say,
Huh.
paraphrase it into Hindi for those of us who do not understand English.
Yeah, or maybe somebody can just put up a hand and I can say it in Hindi later on. Explain the same thing.
Okay. जैसे आपकी मर्जी.
Yeah. Okay, I've been now for the last 29 years, I can say that I've been with Baba, at least in this lifetime. So, a little bit of how I came to Baba. What had happened, I had a friend called, I'm from Bombay, but for the last 7 years, I'm in Ooty now. So in Bombay, also, I have been a writer, and I had a friend, her name is Prochi Batra. She was doing a review of a book called Sounds of Silence. So she called me up. Being a friend, she said, why don't you read this book? Maybe you'll be interested in it. And I couldn't get that book anywhere. I was told that this book is available only with certain people. So I went to this particular lady, her name is Kamlu, and she showed me the book. She's saying, I cannot give you this book because this is my copy, but if you come back, I can get a book for you, and that could be yours. So I took that book and I took it home. Once I had gotten it, I took it home. At home, I was just staring at the cover of that book. I couldn't even open it. I went into my room, closed my room, and for hours together, I was just looking at the picture. I couldn't even, suddenly I felt, I think it must have been about 4 or 5 hours. I realized that I should turn the page also and not just look at the cover. And then, of course, eventually I read the book And I also landed up in Mehrabad. That was nearly 29 years ago. When I went to Mehrabad, it was my first time, and three, four things happened during that period of 3 months that I had gone over there. The first was that when we were staying at the MPC, and there was this bus going to a place called Pimpalgam. Mind you, it was my first time. I had no clue what it was all about. And everybody, we all were standing in a line, and there was one person who was embracing everybody. Later on, I got to know his name is Erid Jasawala, and he used to translate whatever Baba's gestures were to everybody. So we were a group of 7, 8 people. We were sitting there, and the person introducing us said that these people have come from Bombay, and they would like to know more about Meher Baba, and they have come here to see you and meet you, greet you. And Erich was sitting there just near the blue bus, that section of the blue bus. He did not say anything. He saw we were sitting in a semicircle. He was sitting like this, and he just did. After some 5 seconds, he said, "No Baba lover, no Baba lover, no Baba lover." And he pointed out to me and he said, "Baba lover." We had no clue what he was talking about, what he was murmuring. But as I looked back, I realized that out of all those 7, 8 people, I was the only one who became a Baba lover and who has continued to be with Baba for so long. And of course, later on, I realized the importance of being Erid Jasawala in the Baba community as well. So this was one thing which happened. The second thing was that when I had started coming to Baba, I had this thing that since Bombay is very close to Mehrabad, it hardly used to take me some time to decide, okay, I want to go spend some time there and come back. So every time I used to return to from Mehrabad to Bombay, after the last breakfast, I used to go to Baba's tomb, put my head down and say, thank you for, letting me come here, and I'm going to come back again. So this became like a habit, but after 3 months, mind you, this is just 3 months of me coming to Meher Baba. I had finished my breakfast. I went up because all the people were having their breakfast down in Lower Mehrabad. I came up to the Samadhi, put my head down, and this time what happened was something very different happened. I put my head down, and suddenly I was weeping buckets of what? Buckets, tears were coming, and I could fill buckets. That much I was weeping. I had no clue what had happened to me. I said, Baba, why am I crying? What is happening? So Baba, in form of gestures, he's asking me, you say why you are crying. So I said, I have no clue. I only wanted to come and thank you, and I'm going back, and I hope to see you again. So he says, consider this as your last trip here. You're not coming back. So I said, why? I like the place. I'm enjoying myself. And every month I can come and, have this, enjoy this beautiful environment. So he says, no, you cannot. You are not coming here to enjoy yourself. This is not a place. This is not a resort. So that hit me hard. I said, what have I done? So he's saying, you have to tell me what you've done. It was like a confession. Luckily, the time when I had gone, it was after breakfast. There was nobody around. So I was the only person inside the Samadhi and crying copiously. And Baba was trying to take a confession out of me. He said, you tell me, ever since you've come here, what have you done? Forget the other trips, this particular trip, what have you done? So I recollected, visualized again what I had done. So I started telling him then, whatever I could remember. I said, I've not been talking nice things about some people in the dining hall while having breakfast. So he said, go on, you tell me more. What have you been doing? Then I told him, I've been having a bath every day. Those days we were asked to have a bath every alternate day. But I used my own mind. I thought that instead of having a full bucket of a water bath, I would have just half a bucket and I could have it every day. So he said, who told you to do that? Have you asked anybody? Did you ask somebody's permission? You know there is a water problem over here. So I said, but normally I use one bucket. I decided to use half. So he's saying, who are you? What if, like you, there are other people also who make such rules themselves? What's going to happen over here? So why should I allow people like you to come here anymore? That hit me hard. I was still crying. Everything had become wet. My eyes were red. So he said, go on. What have you been doing? Tell me, tell me. And I said, I have not spoken good things about this person who's been eating over here. I had actually, pointed out to somebody, I was eating with someone, and I looked at another table. I saw a foreigner eating, and I thought, that is not a good way to eat. He should be eating like that. So Baba said, who are you to judge how anybody eats? In his culture, they eat that way. In your culture, you eat the way you eat. What if he came and judged you and told you this is not the way you eat? You should be eating. That all again started hitting me hard. So I said, I'm sorry, Baba. He said, sorry is not the word. Because just by saying sorry, you're going to land up doing the same thing. So I said, you tell me now what I should be doing. So he says, you have to obey me. I said, okay, you tell me what I'm supposed to do, I will do that. So he says, now I will let you come next time. You come here for the same time period of 5 days, 6 days that you come. You will not open your mouth. You have to keep silent. There are only two people, he said, you can say Jai Baba to. Only Jai Baba, nothing more. And he named those two people. He said, except for these two people, you're not going to say anything to anybody. You will eat by yourself. You will not basically gossip or bitch about anybody. And you are not allowed to go to Mehrazad. That came as a big blow to me because at that time the Mandli were there and we used to get a lot of stories from them about Baba. But next month I came and I did exactly what Baba had asked me to do. I'm supposed to have a bath only after every alternate day. I'm not supposed to speak. I'm not going to be judgmental. I cannot talk against anyone and only saying Jai Baba to those two people. Now, being a very talkative person, it was very hard for me to keep quiet. And anybody used to come and say, oh, hello, Jai Baba, Nivedita, this, that, and to, not say anything and keep a straight face was a very difficult job for me. So what I started doing is I used to have my meals at a time when nobody else was there, or I used to sit alone so that nobody could talk to me. I used to have a bath only, and I read all the rules and regulations that were told at that time. I did everything possible. He told me not to go to Mehrazad. I did not go. And then the next, he said, Baba had told me that I will check you out for 3 months. If 3 months you manage to do everything that I've asked you to do, then there will be no restrictions. You can do everything that you want to do. I finished that time period doing everything exactly what Baba had asked me to do. But when I came back after 3 months, I said, Baba, are you happy that I've done everything? He's saying, I'm not happy. 100% I'm not happy. So I said, now what have I missed? Have I missed doing anything? He's saying, whatever I've asked you to do, you're doing in Mehrabad. What happens when you go back to Bombay? So I said, what happens? So he's saying, you'll end up doing the same thing. So what have you learned? What lessons have you learned? How can you teach whatever I'm telling? How can you teach to other people? Or how can you even introduce Meher Baba? This is what I'm saying. How will I introduce Meher Baba to other people? I am not a good representative of the community in that case. So I said, but that was not a part of the condition. You never told me that in Bombay I have to do this. So he's saying, but when I ask you to do something, it is all over. Not only in Mehrabad, you should have understood this. So I said, okay, I will try. He's saying in Mehrabad it is possible because there are all Baba lovers. But when you go back to Bombay, you're talking to even non-Baba lovers. And that's where the catch is. That's where you should fulfill uh, your duty by not backbiting, by not gossiping, by doing everything what I want you to do. I said I'll give it a try, and I managed to do that. When I was in Bombay, also I used to come back. I had to work. I had to talk to people. I had to deal with all kinds. In Bombay, you deal with all kinds of people. So I managed that. Then he said, okay, now you can go to Mehrabad also. Finally, when I completed everything, I thought that, okay, now I've surrendered to Baba, now I've obeyed him also. Now he's going to let me do as I wish. When I went back to the Samadhi, he's saying, no, you still have one more thing to do. I said, what is left now? So he's saying, you're going to go back to the Bombay Center and you are going to tell about this particular experience of yours to everybody. So I said, how can I do that? For me, it was embarrassing. I said, luckily, when I'm in the Samadhi, I'm all by myself. There is nobody else. It's between Baba and me only. But if I have to tell all the wrong things that I've been doing to other people, it's like an embarrassment. People will start judging me, they will form impressions about me. I thought this is going to be a real challenge. He said, you have to do this. So one of the meetings, I found out then in the Bombay Center which are the days when one can speak. And I did come to the Bombay Center. And that day he said that you have to, if there are some people whom you can call up, also ask them to come. So if otherwise on a day when only 15, 20 people would come, that particular day, I think more than 50 people came. And I had never ever spoken publicly before. So, and that too, such embarrassing things that I've been doing all the wrong things. But I had to speak. Because I love Meher Baba so much, I said, Baba, you have to be with me and you have to help me. You have to stand by me. Then only I'll be able to say all these things. Finally, that afternoon, I managed to say everything. I was embarrassed. After the entire narration, whatever I've been telling you now to all the people over here as well, there was pin drop silence. Nobody opened their mouth. Then finally, I was just thinking, I said, Baba, now what? I've explained everything. I have blurted out everything that I've done. So then, one person raised his hand. So he said, I want to say something. So I said, what is it? So he said, you mentioned about having a bath every day. Because in a city like Bombay, which is so humid, you need to have a bath 2 times in a day. So he said, at least Baba saved you from the embarrassment. He only countered you in the Samadhi. But in my case, it was different. So I said, would you like to share what the thing was? So he said, yes. And he said that what I used to do is, I knew that there was a rule that you cannot have a bath. But I used to wait for everybody to go for Aarti in the morning and in the evening so that I could have a bath when nobody was there. So nobody could see that I'm having a bath. So I said, then what happened? So he says, one day when I went in the evening to have my bath, I put all soap and all over my body and there was no water. I had to actually wait for somebody to come and help me with a bucket of water so that I could freshen myself and come out. That's when those people, they came to know that some people are having a bath, even though the rule says that you have to have a bath every alternate day. So that was more embarrassing. This is the end of the story, but there are just two things one needs to know. Baba is all knowing. Even if you're doing something, you feel that nobody else is watching you. Because bathing is something which nobody is going to come open the door and see what time you're bathing, and nobody is going to keep a track of you. But Baba knows that you've done the wrong thing. You're not following the rule. He knows how to punish you. He punished that man in that manner by not giving him the water. He punished me by making me confess in the samadhi, not only there, but making me talk even in the center. Baba being omnipresent, he is all knowing, and when we say it in our prayers, it is all very true. I don't know why he's made me to tell this story after so many years again. Maybe somebody may be doing this, needs to learn the lesson. Hopefully, this story will reach out to the people for whom this is meant for. So this is one story. This is the end of the story. And regarding myself, there's just one more experience I want to say. Then I will start with the pleader story. This goes like this: that when I had come, and I said I had come with 7-8 people, we came to Merazad and we met Eraj. I had told Eraj that there is not much literature about Meher Baba, which we are getting. How do we know Meher Baba? Why do people consider him as God? I wanted to make a film on that, write a script on it, and present it to people in different languages. So he agreed. He said, yes, you can do it. At that point of time, I did a lot of research. It helped me to learn also about who Meher Baba was. And I was able to know not only about Meher Baba, his parents, how the Mandli came into being and everything. So this was a time when we had finished the shooting and we were in Bombay in a studio doing the editing of this film. While we were doing in the studio, we never got good tea, chai. So I had a friend living near the studio. I called her up one day. I said, Sonia, I want to come to your house to have some tea because here I don't get good tea. So she said, yeah, you can come, but you will not be able to sit for too long because my uncle has come back from America and he's staying with us. So maybe, you'll have to have a quick cup of tea and move on. I said, okay, no problem. I'm also working. I'll get back to work. I went to her house and she introduced me to her uncle. Uncle was about 80 years old. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And she told him something about Meher Baba. What she had said, I don't remember. I don't recollect that. But she said that this friend of mine, she believes Meher Baba is God. So that uncle who was there, who is, mind you, a orthopedic surgeon, who is on his way to retire now, and from America, he wants to come back to India. He said, can I talk to you? I said, yeah, sure. And he tells me that, why do you think Meher Baba is God? It stumped me. Even though I was doing the research, even though Erich had spoken so much about it, I spoke to other Mandli members. I said, I don't know about that, but I do know that Meher Baba is God. He said, how can you say? Do you have any sign? Do you have any belief? So I could not answer him that. And at that time in my mind, I thought, I prayed to Baba and I said, Baba, is there some way I can give him an answer? When he's asking me, who is Meher Baba and why do you consider him as God? What kind of an answer should I give him? So for 2 seconds, I kept quiet, and finally, I told this guy, this uncle, I said, Uncle, I don't know what to say, but I do believe he is God. So he said, what else do you know about Meher Baba? What can you tell? I said, there are many aspects to Meher Baba. He is called the avatar of the age. And if you really want to know, you'll have to come to Meherabad for it. So he said, no, I'm not interested in all that. He said, this granddaughter, who is my friend, she's saying that you talk to Meher Baba. I said, yeah, sometimes, when I'm in a problem, I take help, I take guidance from him, and he guides me to do the right thing. So he said, how do you talk to Meher Baba? I said, I either talk to him in front of Baba's picture or in my mind, or I pray to him. So he said, okay, if you say that Meher Baba is God, I want you to ask him one thing on my behalf. I said, what? So he says, I ask Meher Baba if I should come back from America to India again after retirement. So I said, I cannot answer that question. You have to come to the Samadhi, put your head down on Baba's tomb and ask him the question. He will answer you. So he said, no, it could be maybe my mind is saying something. How do I know that this is what Meher Baba is saying and not you? So that was the time, again, this was a challenge for me. I said, Baba, what kind of an answer should I give him? So Baba, in gesture, he did something. And I said, Baba is telling you, you are not my cup of tea. And I blurted that out. I said, Baba is saying, you're not my cup of tea. So suddenly that uncle got up. He went into the room and he shut the door. I had my tea and I went back to the studio to do my work. 2 days later, my friend calls me and she says, Nivedita, my uncle wants to go to Mehrabad. So I said, now you can't go because it is April. It will open only in June 15th. Hostel D will open or MPC will open and then you can go. So she said, no, my uncle wants to go tomorrow only. I said, but where will he go? What will he do? And since we were also new, we had no idea that you could stay in a hotel and then come to the Samadhi. We had no idea at that time. So he said, no, he wants to go now. I said, but what has happened? So then this is what she narrates to me. She says, you remember that when we were having tea, uncle went inside the room and he locked himself. I said, yeah, but it was a very abrupt way of closing the conversation about Baba. So she says, what happened was, he told what she is saying, that Meher Baba is God, is the truth. So I said, what happened in that period? That now he believes that Baba is God. At that time, he asked me as a challenge about my belief in Meher Baba. So she says, my uncle, when he had just become a surgeon and he was going to America. This is in 1971. And my conversation with him happened in 93 about this, when he was retiring. But he says in 1971, when he was going to America, at the airport lounge, he had a book called Saints of India by Paul Burton. And there was a chapter on each saint, and there was one chapter on Meher Baba. So when he was at the airport and reading that book, he read the beginning portion of the chapter on Meher Baba, that he remains silent for 40 years, he's not been talking, and that entire paragraph he read, and he said, what rubbish. If he's a saint, how can he not talk? How can he not preach? And he said, he cannot be a saint, and I cannot read this anymore. This is not my cup of tea. In 1993, Baba reminded him what he said in 1971. I'm not your cup of tea. Through me. And then once he realized that this is exactly what he had spoken about Baba, that he is not my cup of tea. And Baba also told him, you're not my cup of tea. He said, I do believe now Meher Baba is God. And I want to read more. I want to get some literature on him. So then I told him, I said, I don't know from where one can get books, but there are 2-3 books which we can get. And then if you go to the Bombay Center, you may get it. So my friend said, I don't know where the Bombay Center is. If you're going over there, can you go and get these books for me? So from the center, I purchased some of the books, and her uncle said that I will only take them on the condition that you let me pay for all the books that you bought. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I bought for him Discourses, I bought for him God Speaks, I bought for him 2-3 other books also, and he paid me for it. He wanted to go to Mehrabad. He was unable to go because 3 months after that, he died. But in the end, he learned who Meher Baba was. What belief he had in Meher Baba, he understood. And he also understood if there are people who believe in him, even though he was a silent master. I had never seen Meher Baba in my life. I came to Baba much, much later. I had never seen him as well. So he got that conviction that yes, Baba is God. So this, I think, these two stories would be good enough for everyone to learn about my love for Meher Baba and whatever I have been learning by coming to Mehrabad very often, talking to some of the old-time Baba lovers, and I had the opportunity to speak to a lot of some of, not lot, but some of the Mandli members also. So that gave me courage. It helped me in loving Baba more. And if there is anybody who wants to ask me anything, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll move on to the pleader story. Sam, would you like to ask anyone? Or
Yeah, I'd leave it open to anybody who wants to ask. Nivedita, I told you before,
हाँ.
हमारा audience बहुत कंजूस है. हाँ,
As long as they understand and
even if they don't understand, they will not ask. Bichare, they observe silence. Anyway, if
okay.
anybody wants to ask anything, please feel free to say so or hold your peace forever.
Yeah, otherwise I'll move on to the pleader story.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Then. These
Okay.
were, if I may say,
हाँ.
very, very touching incident. All this that you have narrated just now, very, very touching.
Thank you.
Yes. थैंक यू बोलने की खास जरूरत नहीं है, ये बाबा आपके मुंह से बुलाते हैं. The fact remains कि जिसको जो मैसेज मिलना चाहिए, they get it through this conversations that we are having.
Correct.
I'm sure some of our audience must have got their answers for all the questions that they've been hiding in their hearts. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now we move forward with the pleader story. Just before I start, I remember I had spoken to Sam in the last 2-3 days of January in the Bombay Center, and I had met him after a long time, more than 7-8 years, because now I'm in Ooty, no longer in Mumbai. I just come, I meet my husband, and come back to Ooty. So at that point of time, I had no clue why I wanted to speak about pleader. And then after talking to him, he said, yes, you can talk, no issues. There was complete silence between us. There was no contact. And then on the 25th, which is Baba's birthday, Sam called me up and he said, would you like to speak this Thursday on pleader? I said, yes, I would, because pleader was from Ooty. And when I came to Ooty, I was wondering if, apart from other places in South India, Baba had ever visited Ooty. So yes, I have been moving around in Ooty, not like a tourist, but as somebody to figure out if there are any Baba had been to any place or if there is any connection with Baba. So, and this is how I got to know that Pleader was from Ooty. Actually, not proper Ooty, in a place called Marika. His father belonged to this place. His father was Jamshedji, and he was a lawyer by profession, one of the best lawyers in this region in South India. And he was so rich in the sense he had not only in Marika near Ooty, he had 7 houses across India. He was so rich. He indulged in real estate. After making whatever money he had, he used to put it in real estate and make more money. But one thing before I continue, I would also like to say why I'm narrating Pleader's story, not because he is from Ooty, but also because I had told Sam, this is a story of a person who had everything. From everything, he went to nothing, and from nothing, he got everything. This is one reason why this story needs to be shared, I feel, with other Baba lovers. So when I had spoken to Sam, I had also said what perfect timing Baba has given, that on the 25th, which is his birthday, Baba has asked you to speak to me so that I can talk about Pleader. Yesterday on that is 26th of Feb, Pleader had dropped his body in 1960 on February 26, 1960. There is an entire story of why it was on Feb 26th only. So as I narrate, I'll be able to tell you his last days and why it was around the 26th. It was on that particular day he dropped his body. We come back to Jamshedji, his father, who was a very rich aristocratic person, Parsi person, and Pleader himself. He used to help his father also. They had a huge family, a joint family, where there were brothers, there were sisters, and as the time went by, he had earned so much of money and he had invested in so many real estate properties. For some reason, he went into lawsuits. There were fights between the brothers, there were fights between the sisters as well for property. And it came to a time when they didn't have anything, and his father died. After his father died, Pleader, his mother, his sister, and brother, they came to Bombay. When they came to Bombay, they lived in a place called Chira Bazar. In Chira Bazar, they lived in a earlier in Bombay. There was a system. They didn't have apartments then. It was a chawl systems where people used to live in rooms, but the rooms were big enough for an entire family to live. So he used to live in one of those chawl system houses. Now that he didn't have so much of money to have a bungalow of his own, whatever little money they had, they came and they stayed there. He started working in Bank of India. In, in this bank, by the time he left that profession and got into the bank, he was a very dejected human being. He didn't know why life had treated him this way. He went about his work, but every weekend, when after he finished his work, he had this habit of moving around and looking out for saints and sadhus so that he could explain his suffering to them, and if somebody could help him out to explain why things have gone bad for him and his family. During this period when he was working in the bank, he came across a book called a book written by Swami Ram Tirath. Now, how did this person become a Swami? He was first a professor, and after becoming a professor, he got into spirituality and he started writing books. And there was this one book which Pleader read, and he felt, I think now if I become a sadhu, or if I keep the company of sadhus and saints, I will also get my answer. So when he started moving around, he started asking people to increase his network of saints and sadhus. During this period, he met Narayan Maharaj. He met Tajuddin Baba also. He also met Upasni Maharaj. When he used to go and meet Narayan Maharaj, who was the closest, because he used to speak a lot. So he told Narayan Maharaj, I want mukti, means liberation. I want total moksha from this life. I'm fed up of this life. So he says, you have to wait You have to wait, find a guru, and then you will get it. So he says, but I've been meeting so many people. So he says, all saints and all sadhus that you meet, they are not genuine. So many of them are fake. So instead of meeting them, you meet your real guru. And you will find, and one fine day when he had met him, he said, you will meet your guru in 1 month's time, and you ask your guru for mukti or liberation. Then in the month of May in 1928, he met Meher Baba. He asked Meher Baba also the same thing. Can I get mukti? If I live with you or if I become one with you, will I be able to get mukti? So Meher Baba said, you're not, a mukti or liberation is not something that you can give. Like you do a seva for me or you do a service for somebody and you will get it. It's not something that you get like this. You have to stay, you have to progress, you have to remove all the sanskaras. There are many things involved, he said. So he says, how can I do? If I come and live with you, will it be possible? So he says, if you want, you come here, stay here for a month, and you see how the mandali works over here for me. When you see that, you will know whether you will get mukti or not, and whether you should be asking for that as well. First thing is you should whether you should be asking for mukti. He says, okay, I'm willing to stay. When he came, he left his bank job. He told his mother that this is what I want to do. So his mother said, fine. Mother was also a little spiritual. She said, okay, fine, no issues. You can go. When he came to Meher Baba's ashram, Meher Baba told him that you have to first work in the Prem ashram. Meher Baba used to run a school for children, a spiritual school. And he told that you have to look after the boys who have come from different countries, from different parts of India, and you have to do the work for them. Because they will be focused on the studies, you have to do other things. And amongst other things, he told Pleader that your job is to wash the latrines of these boys. You have to choose. You have to choose between two things. Either go on milk and fruits for 28 days or wash the latrines of these boys. Because Pleader came from a very aristocratic family, from a very wealthy family, he immediately said, I'm willing to go on a milk and fruit fast for 28 days. I don't want to do this latrine washing. So Baba told him that I also do the same thing. I also do it at times. So in his mind, Pleader felt, okay, Baba may be doing, but I don't want to do this. So Baba explained to him that there are internal sanskaras and there are external sanskaras. He said, if you would have chosen to wash the latrines of the boys, I would have seen to it that internally I would have cut all your sanskaras. But you have chosen milk and fruit, which means you've chosen a longer way to get your mukti. Had you chosen this, and why Baba said washing latrines would be helpful, we don't know. Maybe even Pleader did not know at that time. But Baba may be having his ways to teach people or explain to people that this is how you can reduce your sanskaras and get liberation or come to me. So Pleader was new to Meher Baba at that time. He was learning everything. But he came back. Baba told him, now you go back to your house in Bombay and see whether you want to come back and do or you want to go on your job. Because once you come here, there will be no attachment, no mother, no sister, no brother, nothing. I will not let you go back. Pleader went back to his home. He told his mother that this is the thing. Now I want to go to Meher Baba. I want to go and stay with him. Mother said, okay, go. No problem. At that time, Pleader had become acquainted with Kharman Masi. Kharman Masi is one of the oldest, I should say, people who came to Meher Baba in the early 20s and the 30s. So when Pleader used to go, He could not climb the 5-storied that house where he could go to. So what he used to do was, he used to go to Harman Masi's house, and he used to go to their third floor wing, and he used to stay there at time. Whole day he used to spend over there. Only in the night he used to go back to his house in Chira Bazar and to go to sleep. And then in the morning he used to go to the bank. Rest of the time he used to come to Harman Masi and speak to her and her son Sarosh. Sarosh had a wife called Kaushik. And Sarosh and Kaushik, they have a son. They had a son named Merwan. Merwan is no longer there. Merwan Merchant. And before I just continue, I also want to tell everybody that the story that I'm telling, narrating of Pleader, is what I have learned from Gulab Panchal, Gulab Das Panchal's wife. She has narrated it to me in the book that I have written for her. Her husband was a friend of Pleader. Pleader used to get all these stories. And Gulab Panchal used to narrate it to Nirmala auntie. So Nirmala auntie had spoken about all this, and there is this book. In this particular book, all these stories of Pleader are also narrated. So it's like a direct version where Gulab Panchal had taken whatever Pleader went through with Meher Baba. Pleader had spoken to Gulab Panchal. This is one aspect. The second is auntie had told me that whichever part of the story of Pleader you feel that you're not sure about, or whether you have any doubts, you can speak to Merwan Merchant. Now, Merwan Merchant was alive at that time. So if there were any things I required to ask about Pleader, because he lived in his house, I went and I asked him, so whatever story I'm narrating is after talking to these people. And then if somebody else wants to know more in detail about some of the stories that I'm narrating, they can go to the YouTube channel. If somebody needs, I can give the link of Merwan's interview and the oral history, where there is more than 1.5 hour talk on Pleader and how he lived with Baba and what all he went through for Baba. So now moving forward, I will come back to Pleader, where Baba had asked him to wash the latrines and he had refused at that time. But Baba had told him that you go to the Panchgani cave, where you will be in seclusion for some time. Baba made him do all kinds of things, whether it is to go on a fast, whether it is to go on a 5-year silence, whether it is on a 5-year tour to all over India. Now, this is a very important thing which I would like to narrate, which Panchal auntie had told me, that Baba asked Pleader to go take a tour all over India, and he should go and beg only in 3 houses every day for his meals. If he gets the food, he can eat. If he doesn't get, he should not go beyond those 3 houses. If the 3 houses refuse, then he has to go hungry. So this was a time when Pleader had just started off, and he was in North India. When he was in North India, he went to Banaras and he went to Rishikesh. When he was in Rishikesh, Baba, he got to know about one saint called Keshav Nanji. Keshav Nanji, he was a very, very unique saint. Early morning, imagine in this Himalayan region where the Ganga is, this is the origin of Ganga, the river. He used to stand in the middle with his hands folded, waiting for the sun to rise. And he used to stand waist deep in the Ganga water. As the sun used to move towards the west, he also used to move till the sun used to dip down, and then he used to come out. This was his everyday ritual. When Pleader got to know about this Swami, he went to meet him. First, he went and he observed that is it really true that this man does such a thing. He saw him doing it. He bowed down to him. And when Keshav Nanji, when he was coming out of the water, he saw Pleader, he smiled. He never used to smile. and Pleader came and touched his feet. So there were some disciples of Keshav Nanji. They were very shocked because Keshav Nanji never allowed anyone to touch him, and especially his feet. So when they got to know about Pleader, they asked him, "Who are you? Where have you come from?" So he says, "I have come from Bombay, and my guru is Meher Baba." Then they got to know that, oh, he's a Parsi, he eats non-veg, he eats fish. He must be, he is not a Hindu. And how can he touch? So all these disciples went and told Keshav Nanji that he is not a sadhu or saint. He's come from Bombay and he's a Parsi, he eats non-veg, this, that, everything. So Keshav Nanji, without even knowing who Pleader is, he told his disciples, "You forget this man. You have no idea who his guru is. You have no idea who that man is." So the disciples asked him, "Can you explain to us? Can you so that we understand whether we have done anything wrong?" He said his guru is the one who runs this entire world. He not only runs this world, the entire universe belongs to him. And you should respect this person who has come. So when Pleader met Keshav Nanji, he smiled at him, gave him his blessing, then he says, "Go back to your guru because that's where you belong. No need to come over here." Pleader had told Keshav Nanji that, "Do you think I will get mukti?" So he says, "That is only for your guru to decide. I cannot help you over there. And you must go back. Don't move around in these places. You will not get what you desire. You will only get it there where your guru is." So Pleader said, "Okay, fine." And then he asked him to go away. Now Keshav Nanji, one day before Pleader left for Bombay back, Keshav Nanji used to sit with his disciples. There used to be other people around, and they used to preach. He used to preach, maybe on a particular topic, spiritual topic, and Pleader was sitting over there. This is what Pleader had narrated to Gulab Panchal Das ji. He narrated that one day when he was giving a sermon, a couple came and they also wanted to sit and listen to him. The minute the couple came and said, husband and wife came and sat down over there, Keshav Nanji said, "Please go away from here. Otherwise, if you don't get up from here, I will go away." Till that husband and wife did not go, Keshav Nanji did not continue the sermon. Later on, Pleader asked him, "I would like to, if you don't mind, can you explain to me why you asked that couple to go? If not anybody else, can you tell this to me in secrecy or privacy?" So Keshav Nanji said that this couple, they have been cursed by their perfect master in their previous birth. They cannot come and listen to anything spiritual because of the kind of deeds that they have done in their past life. And the curse can only be removed by that particular perfect master. If he removes the curse, then they can go and sit with holy saints. Otherwise, they will not be able to meet these kind of people in this lifetime also. This, why I have narrated this, that about the perfect master and the curse, you will get to know in another part of this same story. So Pleader understood this. He came back to Bombay. When he came back to Bombay, he used to come and narrate all his incidences to Gulab Panchal ji and other people who used to come and meet him. Now at this point of time, when as he was growing older and he kept on asking Baba, "I want mukti, I want mukti." So Baba was never ever, he was always patient. Baba was always patient. But Pleader was not sure whether he would get the mukti. Each time he used to feel, will Baba do this, or am I just going on a fast for no reason? Am I being silent for no reason? Will he ever help me? So during this period, when he came back, when that 5-year period went finished off, he came back to Mehrabad. Baba told him, go and meet your family. I want you to see how well they are doing in Bombay. So he said, no, I'm sure they must be doing well. Why should I go there? Baba said, no, go back home, speak to your mother, speak to your sister, find out if they need anything. He came, Pleader comes back. When he comes to Bombay, his sister is very angry. He says, tells Pleader, you are not here in the house. You have no idea what I and mother have to go through. So he says, what is it? What do you have to go through? Now, mind you, at this time, after finishing the 5-year tour in North India, Pleader comes back and Baba has put him on 5-year silence. So Pleader can only write whatever his thoughts are and his sister is speaking. She tells him that you have gone to Meher Baba, but all these other Parsis who are over here, they keep saying wrong things about you. They keep saying wrong things about Meher Baba, and they create a lot of problem for mother. So Pleader asks his mother that has anybody said anything to you? She says, no, nothing, nothing. But the sister says, no, I will take you to that particular house where people have been talking about you and Meher Baba also. So Pleader says, he writes down, please take me to that house. And I want to know what people are talking about Meher Baba and me. So she takes him to that house, knocks the door. When the door is open, this lady sees Pleader and she starts speaking against him. So Pleader is very angry. He tells his sister, you go back home, I will deal with these people. And what he tells these people are, you have no idea who Meher Baba is. That is in silence. He's writing down everything. You have no idea who Meher Baba is. And because you all have troubled my mother and sister, not in my presence, but in my absence, and you've spoken wrong about Meher Baba, you will not get salvation, you will never get mukti, and you will be in trouble now. So in a very mild manner, Pleader curse these people and he goes back. He tells his sister, now nothing will happen. Now Kharman Masi is there, Sarosh is there, Kaushal is there. They will all take care of you. I'm going back to Meher Baba. Now during this period, when Pleader is going back to Mehrabad, without Pleader's knowledge, Meher Baba comes over there to Kharman Masi's house. He comes, he meets Pleader's mother and sister. When he meets them, he tells the sister, he takes her hand and he says, I want you to come with me and I want you to take me to that house. That lady and her daughter and son and everybody who are talking ill about Pleader. He never said about himself. He said, I want to meet those people. He took her hand and he told the mother also. He put his hand around the mother's shoulder. He says, all three of us, we will go and knock at that door. Baba knocks at that door. The door is not open. Again, he knocks. So Baba gestures to the sister, Pleader's sister, saying that unka nasib nahi hai. It is not destined that I can pardon them. Even though Pleader has cursed and his curse is very powerful, I can pardon them. But उनका नसीब नहीं है, वो लोग दरवाजा नहीं खोल रहे हैं. I'm knocking at their door. God is knocking at their door and they are not opening it. And after a few moments, they go back. This is all without Pleader's knowledge. Pleader has gone to Mehrabad. After this, Meher Baba also he goes back to Mehrabad. Within a month of this particular incident, that lady's husband expires. There is a 10-day ceremony at that time. I don't know how Parsis observe the rituals for the dead. But on the 10th day, the son-in-law, he meets with an accident and in a train accident, and his skull goes off, just opens up. Within 5 more days, another relative goes. So in that entire month, within that 15-day period, they have so many deaths in the family, and they have financial difficulties. This is the power of a curse. Power of also, Baba had said once, also if you harass a true person, a true spiritual person, or a sadhu or a saint, and you do not understand their powers, this is how you could be punished also. But if a person is pardoned, um, you understand that this is how you have, this is what you have done is wrong, you apologize, you can always be pardoned. So this was the connection between that perfect master curse and the one which Pleader had given to this particular family. As time went by, Pleader was in Mehrabad. He also used to go to Mehrazad. At times, he used to come back and meet his mother and sister as well. And his brother was there looking after them. Then, as time went on, Baba asked him to go back to Bombay. He used to tell many of his Mandali members, the work for you is finished over here, now you need to go back to your family. So there was a detachment. You cannot be attached at all, you need to go back. So Pleader was asked to go back. As he grew older, he could not climb the stairs too much in his house. So he used to remain in Kharman Masi's house for about 10 days, 15 days. He used to only go down when he used to get agitated. Now, this is what Merwan has said. As a child, he noticed that Pleader used to be burning with agony. And he used to say to himself, when is Baba going to give me God realization? When is Baba going to give God realization? And in that agitated state, he used to go down from the house. And his mother Kaushik used to say, Merwan, go and check on him. Hope he does not do anything wrong. Or he does not fall down, or he does not fall sick, or something may happen to him. So just keep an eye on him. So Merwan says, I was like a spy, always behind Pleader. So he says, yeah, I used to see from a distance what he's up to. He says, once or twice, I saw him going into a country liquor joint where he used to go and have 1 or 2 drinks. But he was not a habitual drinker. He was not addicted to drinking. He wanted to remove that burning sensation he used to have. So once Pleader noticed Merwan looking at him, spying on him. So he called him and he says, don't tell your parents about this, what you have seen. And he gave him 2 annas. He says, go take chocolate, go eat outside, whatever you want. So whenever Merwan used to say, whenever I needed money, or I used to just go and, tell Pleader, I want some money. Otherwise, I will tell mummy about this. So this is how Pleader continued staying in their house. Now we come to a part where these are the last days of Pleader, where he had a heart problem and he had a back problem. He used to say some kind of kidney problem, but they went to all kinds of doctors. Doctors could not figure out what is the issue. In fact, Pleader had also spoken to Baba about it. Ki, Baba, I am having this pain. I don't know what to do about it. So Baba said, you are getting the pain because I have given you this pain and you have to suffer for it. So he said, why should I suffer? He says, if you want something, you have to suffer for it and you have to do something for it. If you want God realization, once your suffering is over and all your karmas are cut, you will get your God realization. And he understood why doctors could never ever find out what was wrong within his body, because that was something he may have been helping Baba in some way to help in his universal work, So this way, Pleader went on with the suffering whenever he could manage the physical suffering, but that agony he could not manage. And during this period, in the last year, between 55 and the 60s, he started staying more at home rather than coming down. Then the time came when a telegram was sent. Merwan had to send that telegram ki I want God realization because I don't think I will live anymore. So this telegram was sent to Erech in Merazad. Erech replies, of course, they are Baba's replies, but Erech had put in the telegram that if he can continue to suffer, it is good. He should rest over there. If he cannot bear it anymore, then he can come over here. So finally, a time came, this was around 19th of Feb, 1960. At that time, a telegram was sent saying that we need to bring Pleader to Mehrazad because he's become totally weak. He was taken in a train. It was the Dhon Manmad Express. That was the only train available at that time. And that train, the station at that time in Nagar was very small, and the coach in which he was put was outside the station. So somehow he had to be brought to the platform and then taken in an ambulance to Baba. So when he was taken over there in the ambulance and that stretcher where he was put, he somehow all these people, they took him to Merazad. Baba was waiting at the Merazad gate for him. He saw Pleader, put his hand over his entire body. Pleader was still in his conscious state, and Baba asked him, "How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better now?" So Pleader nods and he says, "Yeah, I'm happy to see you, but I still want God realization. And if you will not give me God realization, then you have to stop saying that you are God. You are not God. You have no divinity at all, and you have to say you're a fake person. Nobody will believe in you." So he says, right now you go to Mehrabad, you rest over there. And when the time comes, Baba puts his hand in Pleader's hand and he says, "I am giving you promise that whatever you want, you will get it. Don't worry about it. And remember your mother, what she had said." Okay. So he is taken to Mehrabad, and he was put in a room, where now that Mandli Hall is there. He was put in a room next to that at that point of time. And why he spoke about his mother, there's a little backtrack to the story. When Pleader's mother had died, Pleader was in Merazad. Someone came and gave the message that Pleader's mother has died. So Baba had gone to told Pleader that your mother has merged in me, but if you want to go and meet your family, you can go. So Pleader said, "Why should I go now? The mother is gone now. Who will I meet? What will I do? And what will I talk to them about?" So Baba said, "No, you can go and console them." So he says, "What consolation will I give? In this birth, she's been my mother. In the past, somebody else would have been my mother. She would have died. So what difference does it make that in this birth, another mother has died? What consolation should I give?" So Baba said, "Okay, if you don't want to go, if you wish, you can cry." So Pleader said, "No, I will not cry. There is no need for me to cry at all." So Baba says, "I'm telling you once more, if you feel like crying, you cry." And then Baba said, "I'm not going to tell you this again." And Baba goes back to Merazad. In the night, Pleader is all by himself. In the morning, Baba comes back again. When he comes back, there is this barbed fencing out there in Mehrabad, and there are dewdrops on it. So he comes and when Pleader meets him, Baba says, "My God, you've cried the whole night." So Pleader says, "No, I have not cried." So Baba touches the fenced wire and he says, "See all this, these are all your teardrops." So he says, "No, no, Baba, these are not my teardrops and I don't cry." So Baba said, "Are you sure this is not your job?" So he says, "Yes, not me." But he says, "But now I'm giving you an order. Go back to Bombay, meet your family, spend time with them, and then come back here." So this was the part which I wanted to tell. Now we come back to Lower Mehrabad, where Pleader is in a stretcher. Now he's on a bed. His health is completely failing him, and he is now threatening Baba. If you don't give me God realization, you have to tell everybody that you are fake. And at that point, he had only his friend Shapur Parik with him during that time. All other people, Gulab Panchal, Kishore Mistry, Homi, who had come, and all the people who had come with him, even Merwan's mother, Merwan had also gone there at that time. They all were asked to go back to Bombay. Only Shapur Parik, who was his friend, remained with him to take care of him in Lower Mehrabad. Once they all went away, Pleader was all by himself and he was failing. Now, the time was coming, Baba's birthday was there. 24th Feb, 25th Feb morning, that period. So Baba was sitting with his mandali in Mehrazad. Now, this is what Merwan says is, we had no idea that Baba was talking to these people. It was after Pleader had gone away, we were told by Aloba. So Baba asked his mandali, how long do you think Pleader should live? So everyone said, it's up to you. It's up to Pleader how long he will live. So Aloba said, Baba, it is going to be your birthday. We want to have a joyous time, including Pleader. Pleader has been a long time companion. So let him enjoy tomorrow your birthday. Once your birthday is finished, all celebrations are done, then you can decide. So then you can decide what to do. So Baba says that I have the string, the kite string is there, that is in my hand, and I can decide whenever I want to do whatever I wish to do. And
Patang
since
kaat de.
everybody,
Main patang kaat दूंगा.
yeah. He said it, in Gujarati he said it. And then he says, okay, fine, we will enjoy the 25th. 25th was Baba's birthday. Everybody enjoyed. Then we come up to the date of 26th. Now, this is in the evening around 6:45 p.m. Pleader is telling Shapur ji, there's so much of light around. Why don't you switch off? So Shapur is telling him, where there is light, there is no electricity. We have lanterns around. At that time, remember, Mehrazad did not have electricity. They used to use lanterns and torches. And Pleader could see bright light. He says, I don't know why this is there. Switch off everything. So Shapur is asking him, why? I can't understand what you are asking me to switch off. And then he tells Shapur, he raises his hand and he says, tell Meher Baba that I believe in whatever he is saying. And there was a smile on his face. And he says that Baba has kept his promise. When he put his hand on my hand, Baba has kept his promise. And I'm happy. He has all the divinity. He is an enlightened soul. And the minute he said that, he shut his eyes and all was over. All was over. Message was sent to Baba and Mehrazad that Pleader is now gone. So Baba said, sent a message back, I will come in the morning. In the morning, Baba comes to Mehrabad. And he had told Pleader at that time, Pleader said, you be with me even when I'm gone. Even when I go away, you should be with me. Baba said, don't worry. Even when you are being put 6 feet down in the earth, I'll be there. Baba kept his promise even for that. In the morning when he had come, if you go to Lower Mehrabad and you see Pleader's tomb, stone out there, when the whole thing was done, it was Baba who first put the earth, he put the flowers when Pleader's body was being lowered down. And everybody else from Bombay had also come to, pay their last respects. And Baba said, this is one soul who has got his mukti, and he has merged himself with me. There will not be another person like him at all. And I'm glad he did everything, and he's got his realization at that point. And this is like, what do you say, finished to the story? No, there was much more which was happening with Baba at that point of time. Baba had told Pleader two, three things to do when Pleader was in Mehrabad. One was, we all know that even in the Hostel A programs we have seen of King Gopi Chandji. There was a play on musts. It was Pleader who was asked to take all the musts together and create the play. And Pleader went mad. He said how to get them all together to do the play. But after the play was over, Baba had embraced him, saying that what you have done, you have no idea. You have helped me in my work, and this play will be one of its kind. And I think a lot of people may have seen the play. It's also there on YouTube. But in the original version, it was Pleader who had got together all the musts together. Now, when we are talking about must, there's one must we cannot forget, that is Muhammad Must. It was Pleader who had brought Muhammad Must from Bombay to Mehrazad. And there is a little, very, very small story to that. When Pleader used to go all over Bombay during weekends to look for saints and sadhus, he once had met an intoxicated soul, but he had no idea that this person was a must at that time. He thought he is a saint but could not speak. Then from Mehrabad, Baba had sent him. He said, in Bombay, you will find so and so person you get, and he is a must, and you have to get him over here. So all the people over there, he used to sit, under a railway station, this track, he used to sit, and Muhammad used to give gambling tips to people, and people used to get rich, but they used to give him tea and samosas. So just to get tea and samosa, Muhammad used to give them tips. But when Pleader went, he did not ask for any tips. He said, will you come and meet my elder brother? Muhammad said, yes, I will come and meet your brother. I want to meet your elder brother. And Pleader said, okay, fine, before going, I will give you something. So he brought some biryani for him, and he said, you eat this and then we will go together. Pleader had taken Muhammad to Mehrabad. Then he was kept in lower Mehrabad, as we all know. When Pleader had dropped his body and Baba had put on the earth on the coffin and everything was done, whole night Muhammad had danced. So this Merwan merchant said that they had not known. After doing all the funeral preparations and finishing everything, they had gone back to Bombay. But later on, our historian in Mehrabad, Peter Nodin, he mentioned that Muhammad Mas was dancing all night after Pleader had gone. And one more thing, before all these people had gone back to Bombay, Panchalji and Mirvan and all, Panchalji was crying because he was very close to Pleader. He considered him like his father because he used to tell a lot of stories also of Baba to him. He was crying. Baba was sitting there. He was still in Mehrabad. Before leaving for Mehrabad, he was sitting on this chair. Baba pointed out to his chappal. He looked at Gulab Panchal and he said, if you cry anymore, I'll pick up this chappal and throw it on you. This is a time to rejoice, not to cry. You have no idea how this guy has been liberated. Isko mukti mil gayi hai. You should be happy about it. And he said, see how Muhammad is rejoicing his departure, because now he need not come back on this earth again. So this, in short, was Pleader's story. I don't know if anybody wants to ask anything on this. This is, in short, if I have to say his entire story in one sentence, from everything to nothing, and from nothing he got everything. That's the best way to describe Pleader's life and times with Meher Baba. Of course, there are many other things, but I don't know if I have the time also to speak. Sam may have to give me some idea. I don't know how long I've spoken.
That doesn't matter, Nivedita, but all I want to say is you have revived memories of my childhood because my father, Iraj Patel, was in the same gang as they called themselves. Gulab Das Panchal, Kishore Mistry. Then there were 2, 3 other, including Pratap, Ahir, and all these. They were वो सेंटर पे मिलते थे, फिर वहां से जाके चाय पीते थे, and they would meet regularly, etc., etc. So my father had vividly told us about this Kaikhushru Pleader. Somebody was asking what was his real name. His real name was Kaikhushru Pleader. Pleader was a surname because he was in the law profession and he was pleading on behalf of clients and all. And this Merwan merchant and all these people, Nivedita, you have वो कहते हैं ना वो एक some part of my heart where all these things were hidden, today they've all come to surface again. Because this is so beautiful. We have exceeded our time by 26 minutes, but that is neither here nor there. उसमें कुछ नहीं है. ये जो प्लीडर ने लास्ट में कहा था कि tell everybody that Baba has kept his promise.
Yes.
And I can only imagine what it must have been कि जब किसी को मुक्ति मिलती है और वो रोशनी देखते हैं और लास्ट में वो खत्म हो जाने के पहले उसको वो ईश्वर का दीदार होता है, and it must be a very, very blissful moment. But for that, Pleader paid a heavy price and Baba took care of it all. That's all I can say. Anybody has any questions? Please go ahead. Dilshad Kapadia, go ahead. Dilshad?
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Nivedita ji, you mentioned about doing some editing of a film or movie. So, have you made it?
Yeah, many years ago. It's called Thief of Hearts.
Sorry? It's called what?
Thief of Hearts.
Okay. Is it available online?
I don't know now. We'll have to check with Meher Nazar.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And what are the names of other books on Baba that you've written?
This is one book is, Gulab Panchalji's book, Unlocking Secrets of Meher Baba's Ringleader. This is one.
Can you
And,
hold it a little up, please? Can you hold it a little up? Cannot see the book, please.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is one, and the other one I don't have a copy. It's called Journey to God. It is on the Khilnani brothers, Raj Khilnani and Vinod Khilnani, their mother. And Prem Khilnani is their father.
Okay. Thank
Journey
you.
to God. And now I'm doing one on prayers and artis. That should be available, say, in another 7 months, 7 to 8 months.
That's great to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Nivedita, one more lady from our center wants to ask. The lady is none other than my boss here. Name is Janice.
Nivedita ji, thank you so much for sharing. आपने YouTube links का mention किया था on Pleader.
On Pleader, yeah.
Yes, is it possible to share? Could you
Yes,
share it
I
with
can
me?
share that on WhatsApp to you.
Yes, and I'll share
All
with
the
you.
3 interviews.
Yes, please, please.
Yes, I can do that. Yes,
Sure.
I'll give it to you on the one on which you have WhatsApp. Correct?
Yes,
I'll
and
do
I'll
that.
share
Yeah,
it further. Yes. Thank you so much. Chair.
yeah,
Nivedita,
yeah.
all I can say is, आपने हमें
Hmm.
बाबा का you described it so well कि जैसे
Mhm.
कि कोई फिल्म हमारे आंखों के सामने चल रही है वैसे the entire
Mhm.
episodes came to our mind.
Mhm.
This, I believe, is a gift from him to you.
And
Please take very good care of it. उसको बहुत ही दिलो जान से संभाल के रखना,
yeah.
बिकॉज ये जो गिफ्ट है वो सभी को नहीं मिलती है. मैंने भी ये स्टोरीज बहुत दफे सुनी थी, यहाँ से वहां से, मेरे पिताजी से, किशोर भाई से, गुलाब दास से, सबसे सुनी थी. मगर if I was asked now, after listening to your thing, I wouldn't be able to do it the way you have done it. So
Mhm.
this is definitely a gift. एक बाबा की तरफ से आपको बख्शिश है.
Thank you.
And you're so blessed.
Yeah.
And not only you are blessed, but all of us today around here, we are all blessed कि ये कहानियों के जरिए
Mhm.
हम बाबा के करीब आ सके.
Yeah.
अभी time is running out, so we'll have
I
to
wanted to. I don't know whether what's the time now?
19
You remember? I
7:32.
wanted to talk about the Baba's Prasad also.
Darling, you'll have to keep it next time. एक
Okay.
टाइम आप वापस आना ही पड़ेगा. You do your prasad, you do क्या ये तुम्हारा what was
Praise and praise.
prayers and aartis.
Yeah, like what is the difference between praise and aartis? They cannot be interchanged.
Yeah, वो सब एक या तो अगले थर्सडे कैन यू मेक इट, अभी से कंफर्म कर लेते.
Yeah.
ओके.
Then I went on Baba's Prasad because that is one thing on my mind because this time when I had gone to NPR, when you go into the dining hall.
वो मत बोलो अभी,
No, no,
because
no, no.
I
I'm
have
only
to.
saying one reason for it.
People waste खाना, वो वही ना,
People what?
wasting खाना.
No, nothing to do with wasting khana.
Oh, sorry. हाँ,
It
बोलो
is
बोलो
on
बोलो.
Baba's Prasad only. I'm just saying that we read about it, when we enter. But the Prasad thing, why do we have Baba's Prasad? Why do we need to have, why sometimes Baba does not give us the Prasad? Why sometimes Prasad is given and why we refuse it? And if we refuse the Prasad, what happens? There are all Baba's stories on that. I have worked on that as well. Because in the Samadhi, there are a lot of people, sometimes they don't take the Prasad, I think because they are diabetic, that little orange sweet they get. Then in Baba's times only, there were some people who had stolen Prasad. What happened to those people? Where times when Baba has given Prasad to someone and the person has refused to take the Prasad. Imagine anybody refusing Baba's Prasad. Wasting to Durga, wasting to everybody knows. We all know that we should not waste food. Then I also want to say some hilarious incidences of prasad, where somebody has eaten the prasad and not gone to the toilet thinking that, okay, I have Baba's prasad, I have Baba's love now, I should not go to the toilet, and how that has affected become into a medical condition. For one of the, I should say, one of the trustees.
ओ बाप रे.
Yeah. So there are different aspects of prasad, and how Baba narrated it in his to the mandali, how the custom or ritual of prasad began during the avtaric period of Lord Krishna. I think we need some time for that.
Yes,
We can do it next Thursday.
next Thursday zarur karna, next Thursday zarur karna. One very short episode I would like to narrate is Alobaji was in Andhra doing visits to various houses, और उधर सब लोग आरती वगैरह करते थे. From one home to the other he kept visiting, and they would bring out, after the aarti they would bring out some small prasad वगैरह. He reached one place where all this aarti and everything was done. They were very new, they didn't know कि प्रसाद का कुछ बंदोबस्त करना चाहिए. So after the aarti was over, Alobaji in his own style, chalo abhi prasad nikalo. So they said, sorry sir, we have no prasad. अरे प्रसाद नहीं है तो कैसा चलेगा? Then what he did was, उनके पास एक छोटी सी थैली थी, or whatever, that bag that he was carrying, उसमें there was just one orange ka sweet from our Mera Baap ki prasad. What he told those people was कि एक मटके में पानी लेके आओ, पानी में ये डाली स्वीट, मिक्स किया, अब बोला अभी सबको पिला दो.
Yeah.
That is how powerful this one little prasad is. And हम लोग अज्ञानता में गचर गचर फचर फचर चबा लेते हैं. We don't know what is happening. Some of us, like idiots, we refuse the prasad. वो आप next session में सब बोलिएगा. लेकिन जो बाबा के हाथ की जो चीज है, उसका कोई मूल्य नहीं है. There is no price to it. It is priceless, is what I'm trying to say. चलो अभी मेरा भाषण बहुत हो गया. We shall end this with a great big thank you to Baba first.
Yes.
And the second thank you to you and the spirits of Gulab Das, his wife, Kishore Bhai, etc., who prompted you to narrate all this. And of course, Kaikhushru Pleader himself. So I hope everybody enjoyed this as much as we've enjoyed sharing this with you. Next Thursday, Nivedita will promptly come on again with her favorite topics. She's a very intelligent lady. Also, like I've said before, very gifted the way she narrates it. So try not to miss it next Thursday. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. We shall now break into prayer, Aarti. Then we will hold a minute's silence. And then we shall finally disperse. Thank you, everybody. Jai Baba. Superb.
Nivedita,
Yeah.
Amalia, you are too good.
Thank you.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा कीजिए. हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और ना तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव परहितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्परि परब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजान हो, अहुरमस्त हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था। हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें और अधिक और अधिक और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाएं। और तू हम सब की ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
भुजावे नार जहलतनी कर खुद रत्ने फरमा तू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमातू अयामुर शाद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाकिफ थई बै थो मेहरबा तू छे माँ लिख हकीकत नो तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी तू छे दरी याए वहदत मारिफत नो हो ही तू फातू हमोर है रब ने सालेक बख्शे ज्ञान ईजदनु के तू पर मात्मा ज्ञानी छने मुख तारेर फातू खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सद के साखिया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू बुझावे नार जहलतनी कर खुद रत्न फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Oh, glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart may I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. These incenses my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. I accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining eye. You are myself, I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days till you, the ever living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Beloved Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Baba, for everything. Thank you, everybody, for having joined us on this Bombay Centers program. Until we meet again next Thursday, keep Baba with you. Jai Baba.